So often I'm asked what clones would I recommend over the originals. That's a rare thing. 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, honestly, I'm going to suggest going with the original. If you want the original, it's always best to go with the original. But in certain circumstances, it may be beneficial to take a look at a top tier quality clone of that original. In this video, I've got 5 that I believe are absolutely worthy of giving a shot. Not everybody's into getting dupes or clones as they're known, and while I'm not a huge advocate for them, like I said, in certain circumstances they just make sense, and there's some, smaller, lesser known brands that are making some really good fragrances. So in this video, I've got 5 that I feel are must try. Stay tuned. Starting with my favorite small independent house overseas, very, very wonderful individual that runs this company, doing top tier quality clones, niche level oils. It's even in the name. We're talking niche for all. This in particular is called Samy. So this is their version of Fragrance du Bois London Oud. And I've never smelled the original. But if the original is even remotely as good as this clone, I really need to look into it because this is probably my favorite from them. I have 6 bottles from Niche for All. I've had a few small decants to sample a few more of their offerings. And while Pineapple Oak is probably the safest bet because it's kind of a combination of Hassavat's opening with Aventus's dry down. It's kind of a hybrid of the two in how it smells. It's incredible. This is the one that wows me the most every time I smell it because it's this beautiful aquatic mint warm wood smell. There's oud in it, but it doesn't come across with that oudy type of smell. Not barnyard, not really medicinal. There's a little bit of a medicinal feel, but it's more of a warm wood feel. And that's what I really like about this. It doesn't take away from any of the mintiness, freshness, or aquatic nature, and it gives it a lot of depth. It makes for a deeper fragrance by having the oud here because it's not your standard aquatic, though it does have that bright, fresh, watery, marine feel that you would expect from a great aquatic fragrance. Performance is stellar, and like I said, the best part is the quality. The name is very fitting because it is kind of a step above what I've dubbed clone level oils. This is definitely not your standard run-of-the-mill type of oils you'll smell from most smaller clone companies. They definitely stepped their game up here. Niche for All is really doing some great work and probably the most underrated of the smaller clone companies, I guess you could call them. Definitely check them out. You can get 3 packs of their bottles. You can get samples. And like I said, most people that have tried them will tell you Pineapple Oak. Yes, if you're going to get a 3-pack, Pineapple Oak needs to be in there. But in my opinion, also, you need to have Samy in there because it's that damn good. Next, we're talking about another even lesser known little fragrance house. He makes a lot of incredible blends. That's my favorite stuff that Michael Densmore makes. We're talking about Makin Scents. But honestly, he gave me a little bit of credit for why he even created this clone in the first place because I love the original so much. The original is Roger Parfum's Oceania, but we're talking about Makin Scents version, and it's called Triton. And it is freaking incredible. Yes, it's a bit more dense. It's not 1-to-1 because this is a higher oil concentration. And obviously the quality of the oils are not exact. But I'll tell you what, he nailed the scent profile here. It makes me happy when I smell it, just like when I spray the original. That beautiful blast of citrus, the aquatic nuances, the nice iris violet floral touch that's in the heart of the fragrance gives a little bit of a powdery, airy, breezy feel without it being too flowery. I smell it floating in the air. This is officially my favorite fragrance from Makin Scents, which Fallen Leaf, which is one of those blends I was talking about, was my favorite. And I guess push comes to shove, because I have the original of this and there's nothing else like Fallen Leaf. I guess Fallen Leaf would be the one for me, but it's a hybrid. It's not a direct clone of any one particular fragrance. It's a combination of Mike's 5 favorite fragrances for fall. He never gave me the list of all 5 of them, but I know one of them is 1 Million Privé, which I distinctively smell in the blend from the cinnamon and the tobacco and such. But that's not the fragrance we're talking about here. I haven't smelled any other clone of Roger Parfums Oceania. I'm sure there are some out there, but I'll tell you what, they got big shoes to fill if they want to compete with this one, in my personal opinion. Definitely check out Makin Scents. If you've ever smelled Oceania, you love how it smells, but you can't imagine spending hundreds of dollars on a fresh fragrance like that, you might want to take a look at Mike's version, because it's freaking awesome. He nailed it here. Makin Scents, Triton. So Makin Scents makes a great version of this as well, called 4.0 Elixir, but I gotta give the slight edge, and I mean slightest of edges, to Alexandria when it comes to Dior Sauvage Elixir clones. Theirs is just that good. This is called Et Sauvage Elixir. It's like I've said every time I've ever featured it before, from opening blast to settling into the heart, to the early dry down, to the deep dry down, it's 90% similar to the original across the board. The performance is almost 1-to-1. It's that radiant, strong, powerful first two hours, and then it sits close, but not too close. It's very consistent, and the sillage is dense. It's got a strong, dense aroma. This stuff is beautiful. They did a great job. Like I said, you can check out Makin Scents version called 4.0 Elixir. It's a little bit more woody and a little bit heavier on the lavender. It's not 1-to-1. It's a fantastic rendition, but I think if you're looking for overall accuracy, I think this one's a little bit more accurate. That's why I had to go this route. Also, I didn't want to feature 2 from the same house in this video, because it's kind of a close race between those 2, but I give the slight edge to Alexandria here with their clone. Really, really good stuff, guys. This is a must try. Yes, it's pricey for a clone. If you don't have a discount code, a 100 ml like this is going to run you $100, but think about this. The original is a 60 ml for $160. So you find a 15% off, 20% off code. Sometimes they even run 25% off. You just got to check the Alexandria Facebook group, search for coupon codes online. You can pay below what the initial listing price is, and they do offer a 60 ml as well. That's $60 before a coupon code. And trust me, 60 ml of this fragrance will go a long ways, because you don't need many sprays. Because if you've ever smelled Dior Sauvage Elixir, you know how freaking strong that stuff is. In my vote, if you're looking for the best clone, you might want to check out Alexandria's version called Et Sauvage Elixir. Can't have this video without this fragrance. I don't know if I'll ever have especially something that's a must-try clone fragrance video, because I still stand by this after all these years. I still think this is the best clone fragrance I've ever smelled. There's zero need to go hunt down a $500 discontinued high-priced bottle of the original. We're talking about Bond No. 9's Andy Warhol. Of course, we are talking about SCENTual Obsessions version called Andy Warhol. I have one of the old bottles that's been through many renditions. I've had decants of several different batch styles, and this is just as good as the original batch, if not better, because I find the oud's a little bit more pronounced here and gives it even more character and richness to go with that beautiful sweet plum that this fragrance is known for. This stuff is remarkable. I love it. Is everybody going to feel this way about it? Not necessarily, but if you're just going to get one sample just to see what they're all about from SCENTual Obsessions, this is the one to get. This is the one I always recommend as the must-try from the house, because I truly believe it's the must-try from the house. They do have other great originals, several good blends, a lot of great clones, but none hold a candle to this, in my opinion. If you're only going to get one fragrance, this is the one. Obviously, you should sample it first. There's nothing else out there like it, as far as I'm concerned, that I've smelled when it comes to Bond No. 9 Andy Warhol. It's a very unique fragrance that was in the marketplace that is no longer in the marketplace. And there's a lot of people, a lot of companies that make their version of it. And I've tried many of them. Haven't tried them all. But for my money, this is the one. This is the must-try from the house, and this is, in my opinion, the #1 clone of Bond No. 9 Andy Warhol. I've been singing its praises for years. I've got multiple bottles of it, and there's a reason for that. SCENTual Obsessions, Andy Warhol. Last but not least, this is another one I've been singing the praises of for a few years now, and it is the must try. Every time somebody asks me, this is the #1 fragrance I recommend to try. While not a direct one-to-one clone of Raja Parfum's Elixir Parfum, not the Parfum Cologne, not the blue bottle, the more expensive one, the Parfum Pour Homme. This is the citrus aromatic rendition to the original's aromatic fougere rendition. We're talking about Samy Andraus Fragrances Blue Sapphire. Just wore this a few days ago. This fragrance is the reason I'm doing this video in the first place. It's what gave me the idea to discuss it, because I get asked all the time. I just recently wore this one. I said, yeah, why not? Let's do the video. And the performance on this is so good. It's more metallic than the original. It's fruitier than the original. The leather gives it a nice smooth backbone. It doesn't change a whole lot. If you're looking for a citrus, fruity, fresh fragrance that gives you that citrus, fruity freshness at the top for a long time, pretty much the whole way through the fragrance, this is that fragrance. This takes most of what's good about Elixir and has it here. It doesn't have any herbaceous components. It's not deep and complex like the original, but for a fraction of the cost, you're getting richer, fruitier, fresher, and more metallic. Without all the herbs, without any of the fougere aspects to it, the things that make it an aromatic fougere in the first place. It's the must try from the house. Red Sapphire, his version of Baccarat Rouge 540 is fantastic as well. He's got a ton of great clones and inspired fragrances and originals and even blends now at this point. Really, Samy's been stepping his game up a lot, but this is still the one. If you're just going to get one to try from him, my opinion, the must try is definitely Blue Sapphire. Well, short and sweet, just 5 today for you guys. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Have you tried any of these 5? If you have, what do you think about them? Because at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. It's to be taken with a grain of salt. Just a source of information, and if you value my opinion, these are the ones I suggest you try from each of these houses. Top tier for each of the fragrances mentioned. The only one I haven't tried the original for is Cement, which is a clone of London Oud. It's the only one I have not tried the original for, and as a standalone, it's amazing. That's why I say it's the one. It's the one from the house, in my opinion. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these 5 and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later, because A, you're going to save a bunch of money versus the original, and B, you're going to smell great. Have a good one, guys.